Burn Live. Burn Live. Murray Wankley giving you the news. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage smoking off social media. I am killing myself for your entertainment, sitting here with friends and family to start a cannabis session. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I am here for. That is my daily task. That is my news. That is my heart. That is my love. That is what I love to do. This is why I am coming you today. Late show, but still coming you today. And I hope that everything look good. Cause my camera, how I see me looks bad. But that's why I'm glad I got my phone right here to really see. I'm like, okay, that looks good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a late edition of the Burn Live Show. Uh, you know how they be in the beginning? You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. Get into this. get into this. What's up, y'all? I am technically just sharing this out real quick, real fast, sharing this out to a couple of people. Hoping that they come in late. I know some of my friends like, bro, late. It is already late when you start. You're on the extra late. But the news never sleep. I'm glad the news never sleep. But I got some late night people that's so caught up, maybe they'll stop through. Maybe they will stop through. I don't know. What's up, y'all? Nah, okay, today in news, as we all know, Trump is getting. Yeah, that was stupid. Okay. Anyway, yeah, in news, y'all. Everybody know, like I said, Trump is being indicted. Everybody got their 2 cents putting their news in. But this one video today caught my eyes, and I just like, if I play this video during the show, it's gonna it's gonna set me off. So I okay, making sure. Is this the right one? Who's covering this story? Okay, making sure this was the right article before I start. Ladies and gentlemen, this article right here. And y'all know what we normally talk about on here. Y'all know what we normally talk about on here is the grooming of the children. All right. I seen this article and it just had me flabbergasted. I just could not believe it. Um, I just like the things that we see every day is crazy. This story right here is phenomenally, because I know that's not a word. I know that's not a word, but phenomenally, this is crazy. This article, yeah, if y'all do not believe in teachers and principals out here grooming and setting kids up in school with their sexuality, you got another thing mistaken. If you think that's really not happening, I can prove it. I got the receipts. I got the receipts. Okay. So without further ado, I'm gonna start this off early. You know, normally I'm talking and trying to roll up my roaches. But you know, it is what it is. Let's get into this story.
over intolerance at Marshall Simons Middle School. Kids were asked to wear rainbow clothes in honor of Pride Spirit Day, but some organized a counter-protest wearing red, white, and blue or black. The principal sharing a statement to families that Pride posters were ripped down, stickers ripped up. Some students chanted, "USA are my pronouns."
My pronouns are USA.
My pronouns are USA. How about it?
My pronouns are USA.
My pronouns are USA. How about it?
My pronouns are USA.
My pronouns are USA. How about it?
Now the kids are fighting back. Stop forcing it on us. It came from the politicians, the Christians, the parents, and now the kids saying we'd had enough. Roll the clip.
These displays of intolerance and homophobia are unacceptable.
This type of intolerant rhetoric starts in the home.
Parents angry at town hall over intolerance at Marshall Simons Middle School. Kids were asked to wear rainbow clothes in honor of Pride Spirit Day, but some organized a counter-protest wearing red, white, and blue or black. The principal sharing a statement to families that Pride posters were ripped down, stickers ripped up. Some students chanted, "USA are my pronouns," and students showing pride were intimidated.
That's right, doggone it. That's right. They got a voice too. They can say we tired of this stuff. Dang, they're intolerant. They're not tolerant. They sick of it. Stop pushing it on us. God dang.
It was an unruly disruption, in fact.
Bro, when every time, look, this picture where I stopped it on right here, I did this to Angel Cakes. Angel Cakes came outside, and I was like, Angel Cakes, look at that. She's like, what that? I was like, it's the face for me. Yo, you cannot tell me she looked like the teacher from horror. Like she's gonna scare the life up out of us. Like, bro, anything she say is not valid. You are creepy. You are scary. She looked like she'll kidnap a boy and take him home and try to feed that little nigga. I swear to God.
He grooms cats.
On me.
I hope these people go straight to hell and burn. All these grown adults shaming kids because they sick of this stuff. I hope they burn in hell for a long time. You should not be shaming kids for having an opinion. And y'all forcing this demonic stuff on these kids. I can't stand these people. They are the reason that kids are confused and committing, you know what? You know what I'm saying?
That was organized ahead of time.
While some parents were upset, others say it was overblown.
Some of the kids threw the stickers on the ground, but I can only speak for my daughter. She didn't want to wear that to school. It's not that she wanted to hurt anybody's feelings.
She says her daughter felt coerced to participate in the Pride event and was offended by some of the messages, like this quote from Tennessee Williams.
Human heart cannot be straight. It is curves and winds. And my daughter just kind of said, Mom, that's offensive to me, who I am straight.
But even parents like her, opposed to the Pride Month celebration, say the ripping of posters was wrong.
I think destructing any property is wrong. I think, I just think that was wrong.
Parents and community groups now calling for the town and school board to act and support diversity, equity, and inclusion. The incident sparking discussion at home on both sides.
My thing that I teach my kids is just be kind. And I wish the schools would just kind of pump the brakes on what they're shoving down these kids' throats.
The issue of pride in schools is very controversial. I understand that. I think we need to start at a place of commonality.
What does that got to do with your education? What does the LGBT stuff got to do with the education? Teach these kids. They can go home and have all the pride they want. Why y'all in the school pushing it? God dang it. Come on, keep going.
Now, the principal says that no one was forced to participate in the Pride Day event, but now parents on both sides want dialogue.
Our middle school, what is that? 10, 11, 12-year-olds had not one but two incidents recently of what I would consider hate crimes. Last
I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know that this lady said middle school kids committing a hate crime, which would get a kid a record, locked up, started down the wrong path. Middle school. I just want y'all to get that understand in y'all heads that that's what she's alluding to. This is what she's preferring to. Crazy.
last Friday, I think it was, they decided to have like a pride. I don't remember if it was a pride parade or kids could wear pride colors or rainbow colors and pins of support and stickers and stuff. And so, as they should.
What?
And there were some middle schoolers, I will say that again, middle schoolers that dressed in red, white, and blue. And from what I have read, were in the halls ripping down handmade pride signs and chanting things like, my pronouns are you, S, and A.
How's that not the most unifying? We're all under the flag. We're all in America. We're all Americans. The rights that you observe is observed under the American flag. We don't need to be dividing each other. My pronoun, we all Americans. But you can't say that in America no more. You can't say, let's be one. Let's be together. Let's be unified under one flag. They don't want to do the Pledge of Allegiance no more. Under one flag. You can't say that in America no more. You're hateful if you do. No, we should be divided. You should have your pronouns and I have my pronouns. I should like you, disagree with you, you disagree with me, you like me. This is what we should be doing. We can't come together. We should be separated. We can't come together and celebrate people all year. Why got to be a Pride Month? Why can't it be all year? Why can't people just do that thing all year? It
Deliberately misgendering staff. And like I said, vandalizing pride signs. And if that isn't bad enough, on Monday, there was an incident of anti-Semitic and anti-gay graffiti in the middle school. Yet, my town, Burlington, Mass., the superintendent and the principal of the school said that they could see both sides. There is no second side.
Oh, okay. We got it.
It's called understanding and compassion.
No.
And what the kids did that were chanting is abuse and rude. And
I can't even stomach what she's saying anymore. Listen, there is two sides. There are kids that want to celebrate pride. That's fine. Well, have some space for other kids that don't want that pushed in their faces. How about the kids who are prideful or want to be gay and lesbian in the middle school, which y'all don't know what the y'all doing in middle school? Let them wear their little pins and they can wear their colors. That's totally fine. But why do they have to do videos and seminars and put flags everywhere and encourage everybody to dress like trans people? Why do they have to do that? It's nothing wrong with being straight. You dummies wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for straight people. Why can't we meet in the middle?
The slickest shit that he just said, but I do like what he said, is that the fact that none of us would be alive if it wasn't for straight people, which is true, because if it was up to gay people, how would we be created? Oh, yeah. Let me rephrase this. If it was up to the LGBTQ, how would we be created? Would they even take the time out to try to create us? Huh? Anybody think about that? Nope, they don't care.
President Donald J. Trump was arraigned today in his first court appearance in the federal indictment involving his 37 felony counts in the document scandal that has been gripping the nation. Former President Trump has been arrested and surrendered to federal authorities at the Wilkie D. Ferguson Jr. Courthouse. Since leaving the courthouse, President Trump has pled not guilty to charges involving misleading federal investigators, as well as mishandling some of the country's most sensitive documents. Trump was quickly processed in and out before a magistrate judge at 3 p.m. alongside his co-defendant, Walter Knott. Now, the interesting thing about the co-defendant, Walt Nada, he actually did not enter a plea today because he does not have a lawyer. Now, Mr. Nada is not a lawyer, not a political official. He's Donald Trump's body man. He's the person who gets Donald Trump Coca-Colas and Big Macs and buckets of chicken, those sorts of things. And so Mr. Nada, his entire criminal defense in this case is being financed by, not directly by President Trump, but by people who run PACs and who are supporters of President Trump. So it's going to be interesting going forward to see exactly what Mr. Nada's plans are going forward in this case, because if he flips and testifies against President Trump, that may be the last nail in the coffin when it comes to this investigation, when it comes to getting a conviction in this case. Now, the federal prosecutions of this nature have about a 99% conviction rate. So when the federal government brings a case like this, in the words of Omar from The Wire, if you're going to come at the king, you best not miss. And normally the federal government does not miss. I want to take a couple minutes just to break down these charges against President Trump and to myth bust much of the things that have been percolating in right-wing media with regards to these charges. So of the 37 charges, 31 are for violation of the Espionage Act. So the Espionage Act does not mean that Donald Trump was actively spying on the United States government. It does not mean he was dressed up like James Bond, sneaking around, stealing files. Conversely, the Espionage Act was actually created during the Woodrow Wilson administration in World War I and has been used to prosecute individuals who have been historically misplacing and misusing government documents. The Espionage Act has nothing to do with classification of documents. That's the most important thing to understand, because the Espionage Act was actually written and enacted before the classification system was even put in place by the U.S. government. So when you hear this argument, well, Donald Trump had the power to declassify them, it has nothing to do with declassification. The charges that are against him are two parts of the Espionage Act. One, with regards to retention of documents. He retained these documents without authorization. So anytime you retain national security related documents without authorization to do so, that is a violation of the Espionage Act, regardless of who does it, regardless of classification level. Secondarily, dissemination and distribution of those documents. Because it is widely accepted that Donald Trump did show these documents to other individuals, and we know this because Donald Trump is on tape saying that he showed these documents to other individuals. So this is where you get 31 counts of violation of the Espionage Act. So when you hear the Trumpers say, well, he had the power to declassify them, the Espionage Act has nothing to do with classification. When you hear them say, well, he had the right to possess them, he did not have the right to possess them. When they say, well, the Presidential Records Act is at play here, the Presidential Records Act has nothing to do with this because these are not presidential records. These are records of the federal government. They have at no point in time were in the coverture or in the ownership of President Trump. They belong to our government, not to the individual being Donald Trump. The Presidential Record Act is something which allows presidents to make.
Yo, he is the only person that literally cleared this up to the best of his ability so people can understand what is going on down here in Florida. I appreciate even finding this video to even bring it on so we can all understand that no matter how we look at it, this is what they're charging them for. But yet again, is this case really a federal act to really put him behind bars? Can he really face 120 something months behind bars? I think he said he could face up to 15 to 30 years or something. Then also, once they put him in jail, like they're trying to put him in jail, are they going to still let him go on the ballot to run for president? Are we, the people, still going to elect Trump after he withheld documents. The thing is with that part is they're gonna let us know what these documents truly was because they keep saying it was federal document. So I am under the influence that once y'all convict him, if y'all convict him, he's a felony. Y'all not gonna tell us what exactly these documents was for. Maybe the jury may find out. Okay. But are we gonna find out exclusively what was on some of those documents? Maybe not all of them.
Unless someone spills, no, we're not going to know.
Yeah, you go to yet again how we the people are gonna judge and say right now he guilty or not about the documents if the documents are not classified or what they are. I'm just saying those are questions that I hope turn up in this court case. But like I said, he is breaking it down the best to his ability so we can understand what they're charging him for. And I appreciate it.
Maintain their own documents and their own records when they leave the White House. So if you have notes, if you have letters, if you have things about your deliberation process or things for your presidential library or biography, that is what the Presidential Record Act covers. It does not cover sensitive Pentagon documents. Also, the other 7 counts against Donald Trump are primarily for misleading prosecutors, lying to federal investigators, obstructing justice, willfully retaining documents. How do we know that he willfully retained the documents? Well, it wasn't negligent because he did it intentionally. It's not as if he just had a briefcase and these documents happened to fall in there. If that was the case, then we wouldn't see charges. It's because he intentionally took these documents. He intentionally hid them from the federal investigators. He intentionally lied to those federal investigators. That's how we know that the retention of these documents are willful. How do we know that? Because he says on tape, I have the power to declassify these documents. I did not do so. So the prosecutor, Jack Smith, in this case, has worked hard to paint a very clear and direct picture and using as the sources for his charges against Donald Trump, not witnesses, but Donald Trump himself. The majority of the quotes in this 37-page indictment are in this 37-count indictment are from Donald Trump and from Donald Trump's lawyers. There's even a quote in there where Donald Trump says, what if we just tell them that we don't have anything? That is called obstruction of justice. And so for the people saying, well, Donald Trump had the right to have these documents, obstruction of justice does not require an underlying crime to be proven. That is to say, you do not have to prove that Donald Trump violated the Espionage Act to also have obstruction of justice, even if you're completely innocent of the underlying crime because you obstructed federal investigators and prosecutors from being able to prosecute that crime. That is still obstruction of justice. So even if you take Donald Trump's word for what they are, if you take all of his defenses for what they are, if you believe him on face value, he has still committed multiple felony charges. All these charges, if run consecutively, will land Donald Trump in jail for over 400 years. But in reality,
Over 400 years. Not months.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, I know they're trying to bury your boy, but God wham, if they're not trying to bury your boy. I'm okay. You know, so we as people who understand what's going on and stuff like that, we're just gonna say, okay, we're not gonna sit up here and argue and be discreet against these allegations. Nah, we're just gonna sit back and say, oh, okay. All right. You see what I'm saying? Because who are we, even though we're supporters of who you support, Joe Biden or Trump or DeSantis or nobody, or you don't care. He's innocent until proven guilty. But damn, 400, golly. Now remember, y'all, we learned this 400. Now he go to 400 years facing to don't face nothing at all. Come on, man.
More than likely, Donald Trump, if convicted in this case, will be sentenced to about 5 years in federal prison and will serve about a year up to 18 months in custody in reality. So Donald Trump's best bet is, guess what? A plea deal. But if Donald Trump won't get a plea deal in this case, because he continuously has attacked the prosecutor, has continuously attacked the judge, has continuously attacked the Department of Justice and Merrick Garland and Joe Biden and every part of the federal government that would be responsible for actually showing him leniency and mercy when it comes to this case. And then on this question of sentencing, well, what the jury is going to look at when it comes to sentencing is whether or not this person was actually sorry for what they did. Did they actually learn a lesson? Are they actually not going to do this again if they are let go in this case? And what we're seeing is every single statement that Donald Trump makes from the time this indictment came down until the time that he goes to trial can and will be used against him in a court of law. So when you get to a sentencing place in this case, all the prosecution is going to have to do is play an hour of tape of just Donald Trump lying and lying and lying.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So we'll see where he go to court, what happens. And y'all be killing me how when y'all say people say things and it's this and this and that and we can't talk no more and all this extraness there of what it takes for us to have what, fired or not fired, locked up or not locked up. You know, it just give the man 400 years. Just give the man 400 years. He can take it. He can take it right on the chin. Wow, he all right. Let's go see what our boy talking about.
Did not happen in the direction that they usually tell us that, you know, racism happened in this country, okay? And a woke company also is paying the price for being in bed with radical extremists, right? And the company that we're talking about here is Starbucks, who I've done multiple videos about lately in regards to how they continuously pay the price for endorsing woke extremism, okay? We all know that Starbucks is extremely woke, okay? And they, again, continue to pay the price for being woke, as they have been ordered to pay $25 million to a manager because they fired her for being white. Yes. Again, you don't usually hear stories that go in this direction, but that's how this story went. Now, this story is about a story that some of you guys are familiar with, okay? This happened back in 2018, I believe, where you had two black men go into Starbucks to allegedly...
I actually remember this now.
Meet with a real estate business partner, right? This is a story that they're telling us, okay? And they wanted to use the bathroom. However, they were denied the opportunity to use the bathroom because they weren't paying, okay? So they weren't paying customers. They were just sitting in there waiting for a business partner, not buying anything, which, again, some people may say that that's rude, okay? That, you know, maybe, you know, people shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go into restaurants, sit there, take up a seat, not buy anything, and use the facilities, right? But they were denied access to the restroom, and then they were eventually asked to leave because presumably they were just sitting there talking, not buying anything, and wanting to use the facilities, right? So they were asked to leave. I guess they refused to leave, and then that's when the Starbucks employee called the police on them. The police showed up and arrested them for trespassing. So that predictably resulted in protests, boycotts, and threats against Starbucks, allegations of racism. And of course, these victims went on a social media tour and a media tour basically talking about how racist this incident was. Take a look.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here.
What in the live action Boondocks is this shit? Don't they look like the adult version when the Boondocks little kids, if they was ever live action, they got older. These here they are. I don't know their names, but man,
It has been quite a week. It's been quite a week. Dante, you both walk in, you get a table. Rashawn, how long was it before you asked to use the restroom?
Immediately, as soon as I walked in. And she stated that they were for paying customers only, and I just left it at that moment.
And the response was, you have to buy something.
Yes.
Then you go.
There's a lot of people that do that. It's a lot of restaurants that's like that, y'all. We know that. Y'all know that.
Go and find Dante. You're at the table. What happened next?
We're at the table. We sit down. We're just talking amongst each other. She then comes from around the register, walks up to us, asks if, she can help us with anything. Can we start with some drinks or water or something like that? For when we have bottles of water with us. So, we're fine. We're just.
This is the most interesting thing that I have ever seen in a comment. I just seen this pop up. I was like, huh? So, what about true crime you think that I'll be good at if you can put a little bit more emphasis on why you think I should do true crime? I'm willing to try to do anything to enlighten us, but what are we going to learn about true crime? That nigga is guilty and he shouldn't have did what he did. Now he locked up. Somebody dead. Okay. I would do true crimes only if it has something to affect the neighborhood, not like you know what I'm saying? When I mean by affecting the neighborhood, it's like, okay, somebody do a crime in the neighborhood and there is a law that we can vote on, simple little law that can change things. Like, for example, pedophiles. Pedophiles, a long time ago, should have been on IDs. Just like they want us to put COVID tests on IDs. I believe this should have been done a long time ago. It really should have been a focus point that some of us agree on. And I believe that would cut down on some of the kidnapping because your ID is it's more than on records, it's on ID. So when you go introduce yourself to, hey, I'm new in the neighborhood, hey, you know what I'm saying, can I just see your ID real quick? Oh man, why? You know what I'm saying? Just make sure, be honest, man. Just make sure you're not a pedophile because now it's on your ID. If anybody that watch my show see any case or anything that they want to do, please message me at Michael Large on Facebook. Hit me up. Message me on Instagram, all that stuff. Hit me up. Send me the video. Send me the receipts, and we can talk about it. But these two guys, Keenan and Kel, I'm not down with us race hustling just to get some money. Now, a lot of people be like, you're wrong for saying that. Black people are always accused. Like, I mean, you shouldn't be just getting locked up for just, sitting at a Starbucks because you didn't have no money and you need to use the bathroom because for a fact if you use the bathroom outside somewhere, they're going to lock you up. I do understand. I do get it. I'm with you on that. But a lot of people don't realize and don't understand that places that are run with filth and homeless and the people who loot, that's why they shut the bathroom down. You got people doing drugs in bathrooms, going to sleep in bathroom. Hey, y'all, is it me or every other day it's a high-speed chase in LA? Is they just known for high-speed chases? That's all they want to do is high-speed chase. All right, y'all. About to get into the CNN. See what they CNN.
Joining me now, Donald Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen. He's the host of the Mea Culpa podcast and the author of the book, Revenge. Michael, you know Donald Trump very, very well. Do you think in your mind that he was ever going to opt for an option of taking a settlement instead of battling this out in public?
No, so Donald's position is never to settle. ever, because he thinks it's a sign of weakness. Unfortunately, he didn't have anybody around him to guide him properly. He's like a petulant child that just keeps sticking their finger into an electric socket. And then you keep saying, don't do it, you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But nevertheless, he's going to do it anyway, because in his mind, he knows better. And then you have somebody, for example, like a Boris Epstein, who will turn around and will say to him, yeah, you're right, Donald, stick your finger into the socket. It's good, you can do it. Instead of guiding him like many of us used to in the past and say to him, no, you can't do that. All right, think about how many of these matters right now would not even exist had he listened to somebody who was providing him just a scintilla of good advice. Just a scintilla.
And I think a lot of people look at this and wonder, was anybody telling him to just give the documents back? And this reporting really confirms that people were. And according to the Washington Post, this was just one of several times that those lawyers tried to move Trump to prevent what basically unfolded in court. When you hear that, I mean, what do you think got Trump to the point where holding on to documents was more important than staying out of real legal jeopardy here?
First of all, I don't buy the nonsense that people were telling him not to hold on to it. Number one, he wouldn't listen. But number two, nobody really has, the cojones enough to turn around and to tell Donald that you need to send it back. In fact, the proof in the pudding is that you had people like Evan Corcoran, or you had people like what's her name, Bob, the other attorney who signed affidavits to the government, Christina Bobb, right, stating that they had searched the premises, that there were no documents that were left on Mar-a-Lago or in.
That man looked like he had livelihoods full of cases. Like, he probably had my birth certificate in one of them damn boxes up in that damn try, like, why in the bathroom? Now, back in the days, I understand back in the days, a lot of people used to, want to poop and read the newspaper, but damn, my ninja. Man, pooping, okay, CIA did this, FBI did that, CIA did this, FBI did that, CIA did this. God. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna take a little more. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take that. Oh, I'm gonna take it all back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what else can I? Searching for a missing somebody in St. Louis?
Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, expanding higher education, why some St. Charles County neighbors are saying no.
Heating up, but holding the line on the humidity, at least for now. The humidity is back for Father's Day, and air quality issues are back tomorrow.
But first tonight, a man goes to a South County bank and then disappears.
My whole family's out looking for him. I mean, we're all trying to do something.
Why police are now asking for your help.
It's been more than a week since anyone has seen Stephen Wehrman. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Tonight, police are searching for clues. Robert Townsend is live outside St. Louis County Police headquarters. He spoke with the missing man's brother tonight. Robert.
Like Stephen Wehrman's family members just want to see him and hug him. Their loved one has been missing.
They're concerned about the burden the development will have on the rapidly growing community. Our Laura Barczewski was at tonight's public hearing.
People opposed to St. Charles Community College coming to Wentzville say they're worried about how it's going to change that area of town, along with concerns about if they're going to have to end up paying for the infrastructure required to move that far out. Those who are in favor of this project say they're hoping this will be a big boost to workforce development.
St. Charles Community College is planning to build a brand new building in Wentzville at the intersection of Shaper Road and Interstate Drive to expand workforce development and technical programs.
Sees the
Look at all that
demand
corn.
for training programs for tradesmen, for construction workers, and for the innovative fields. Therefore, they've been pursuing the construction of a new higher education facility to train those trades.
State Senator Trisha Burns says this campus will be great for the area.
We have a $2.8 billion expansion, and it will be going from Wentzville all the way to Blue Springs. We need workforce development. We have big projects. Wentzville is in an exciting position and an exciting time.
But there are a few citizens who are concerned specifically about the water and sewer system that will have to be extended.
As we all know, this is a tax-exempt property. You'll yield and generate zero revenue streams for the city or the county. This is a needed service, and I ask that you put taxpayers first and that you extend to the water and sewer instead of forcing the college district to build a well in a leachate field that smells.
John Wyman with St. Charles Community College says they've only received one formal complaint and will do their best to be good members of the community.
We believe we're proposing a first-class building on this property, and we have.
Yeah, I see people trying to stop their education. That's messed up. I just want to show that off. That's really what I want to see on that. People literally stopping education. They worried about money. Don't y'all want to teach the kids? Don't you want to teach the kids? I guess they don't want to teach the kids nothing at all. All right, something different a little bit.
How big is too big? An airplane seat might be a good reference, but now overweight travel influencers are demanding bigger seats because they don't fit.
Join my petition calling on the FAA to require all airlines to have a written official customer of size policy for plus size travelers. This policy will provide accessible additional seats, clear communication, reimbursement, accommodations, and employee training. As my petition states, all plus size passengers should be provided with an additional seat or 2 or 3 depending on their size and need during a flight for comfort. Under this policy, airlines should also offer a straightforward refund process for those who are buying additional seats independently.
Wow, so this is a craze. Everyone's signing up and going to force this on airlines. Look, the truth is, we're all a little chubby and could probably lose some weight, but forcing everyone on the plane to subsidize plus-size seats would only inflate prices that are already getting too high. How have influencers gone too far this time, or are they right on the money? Tyrus is a Fox News contributor and a really nice guy. And 6'8", and how much do you weigh?
6'8", 341 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
So does she? That's how I feel.
Yeah, I notice you're
when I see you
taller than mine, but it's all good.
Right, but yeah, in real life, you are taller than me. For everyone at home.
Listen, genetically, I'm a freak. I got it right.
6'8".
Yeah, 6'8", 341 pounds. But we sit in the same chair. Okay, so my knees get in the back, but I fly first class, so I earn that right. I also made it part of my contract. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
good thinking.
That's not the point. The point is this. If you want, there's a lot of things I can't do. I can't go on roller coaster rides. I can't be an astronaut. There's a lot of great things I've been able to do. I've had a great career in wrestling. I've had a great career on the football field. I go into places, when I go in a dark alley, I'm never afraid. There's a lot of awesome things that goes with being big and working hard and being a power lifter and all those other things. But what a lot of these influencers like to do, they like to want to be praised for their size. It's natural. You can't say anything bad about them. The doctor asks them how much they weigh. It's a problem. So here's the deal. If it's such a great thing, with great things comes some responsibility. You have to buy your own seat. It's not no one else's responsibility. If it's a genetic issue, you have a doctor who comes in and will give you a note. Airlines already do this. Southwest already does this.
They'll give you 2 seats.
Southwest will give you 2 seats. I've even been on, when I've had to fly to seats, I usually fly to Southwest to go see my son play baseball. And when I usually get the exit row for extra leg room. But if I don't have it, they'll literally like, would you like an extra seat? They'll ask me that.
Right.
And I'll say, oh, I don't need it. But the option is there. So what this is, again, is you want to victimize yourself, at the same time praise yourself. If you wanted to get those things, then you can go on a diet. You have to do things to fit in. The world should not have to succumb to what you want.
Right.
Only in America. Only in America do you have to do that. And he's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm skinny. That one. No, don't up a price on shit. Price is already expensive as it is. I'm skinny. I can probably fit in a seat 8 times because I'm that skinny. What, you want me to go half? What, Can I pay half for the half of a seat? I don't need this whole seat. Do that make sense? I'm this skinny to where this big ass seat that I'm sitting in, I don't need that. I can just sit there on that little bitty edge. You know where the handlebar come down? That's all I need right there. That should be only like $25, $13. So as big people that want to protest about accommodating, I shouldn't have to pay for a full seat. I'm only half a human. That makes way more sense to me because of the simple fact I'm little. But that would make no sense to anybody else if I said that. People would look at me like, it doesn't matter. You still sitting in that seat, but I don't need the whole seat. And other stories.
Top story at 10. In a protest of what he calls President Biden's open border policies, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has shipped a busload of migrants to Los Angeles.
More than 40 of them were dropped off at Union Station today, prompting local officials to act quickly. It's a move Congressman Jimmy Gomez called a sick political game. And Governor Gavin Newsom has previously called the movement of migrants from Florida to California kidnapping.
KTLA 5's Rick Chambers joins us live from downtown LA with more on how local officials are handling the migrants tonight. Hi, Rick.
Hi, Court. Yeah, we got an update just a few minutes ago, and that we're being told now that the vast majority of the migrants who were bussed in to LA and then placed in this church behind me are already gone. They were released earlier this evening to family members spread all across Southern California, which of course is great news for them. But we've seen this type of thing play out over and over across the country, whether it's bus rides into Chicago and New York or flights into Martha's Vineyard in Sacramento. These are border state governors who say that they're trying to prove a point about a broken immigration system. It's just that the migrants are the ones who are getting caught in the middle.
We're not sure if this is only a one-time thing.
A bus with 42 migrants from Texas arrived at Union Station this afternoon, then was brought here to St. Anthony's Croatian Church in Chinatown. Texas Governor Greg Abbott saying on social media, the first bus has arrived in LA. Our overcrowded border towns on the front lines of President Biden's border crisis need relief. Texas will bus migrants to sanctuary cities like LA until he secures the border.
Our emergency management, police, fire, and other departments were able to find out about the incoming arrival while the bus was.
Do y'all get what's going on down south in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico? Like they're so overpopulated. You got immigrants, illegal immigrants. So many are laying on streets, outside on curves, filling up parks. That's why they're shipping them to LA, Chicago, New York. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really gotta feel like, think about a bunch of people coming into your home. You have no more space. You can barely get outside. You can barely see the light. You can barely get to the bathroom. You can barely move. You're just so uncomfortable. Would you or would you not start shipping them people to other people? Like, neighbor, you gotta look, put this one in the closet. Put this one in the basement. Matter of fact, you see that shoebox over there, man? You go lay in that shoebox right there. You short. You ain't only 3 feet tall. You probably could fit in a pair of high heels. But that is what's going on in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. So they're shipping them off. And now they're complaining. I'll stop shipping them. Well, what they supposed to do with them? What is an overcrowded state supposed to do? Huh? Nobody's going to put their 2 cents in. Everybody's going to be quiet. Oh, they're human. What are they supposed to do when they're sleeping? They're sleeping at fire stations, middle schools, elementary schools, high schools, sleeping in sewers, trash cans, alleys, swamps, trees. They building tree houses and baby trees that's barely grown. Like we need to live. We live here. You know, you got to really take that into consideration of I need to move these people to places to where I can breathe. Oh yeah, they coming here to Nevada too.
It's on its way, and we're already mobilized along with nonprofit partners before the bus arrived.
LA Mayor Bass saying about the bus's arrival, it's abhorrent that an American elected official is using human beings as pawns in his cheap political games. After an exhausting 23-hour bus ride, those migrants are being housed here at the church tonight.
We have women, children, adults, and we have quite a few children.
Those children are ages 2 to 9, and supplies, including diapers and teddy bears, kept arriving at the church throughout the day. A coalition of immigrants' rights groups are now helping the new arrivals connect with family or sponsors in the U.S. and hopefully put an end to their traumatic and often harrowing journey.
They're coming with the hope that they can keep themselves and their children safe. And so instead of treating them as political props here in Los Angeles, we will treat them with the dignity that they deserve as human beings.
And we're hearing that the majority of the people that were on this bus come from South and Central America for the most part, although Haiti and Asia were also represented as well. And this is just temporary asylum for these folks. They will have to appear in court at a later date. And unfortunately, we're hearing that some of them may have to travel to the East Coast for that hearing. Near downtown LA, I'm Rick Chambers. Guys, I'll throw it back to you in the studio.
Rick, thank you so much.
Woo! Y'all can say that's sad. Y'all can be mad. Y'all can be upset. You can be disappointed. You can be angry. I understand. Ladies and gentlemen, these human beings are coming to a state thinking that it's free. Like I wish I knew what hopes and dreams they thought about her.
How big is too big?
When
An airplane
we
seat
are
might be
over flooded. I don't even know what else to say. What more do you want to say? We're over flooded. We can't even take care of the homeless. You want to get the homeless off the streets. Let's see what the GOP be talking about. I haven't heard from them in a minute. Look at me messing up. I do that every time.
Today at 2:30, we go to the floor and debate whether or not to censure Adam Schiff. So you guys know that what he did was wrong. It's interesting because you see these left-wing accounts parroting the same propaganda, trying to blanket statements saying that Republicans are all liars, and yet they make excuses for something that was absolutely egregious. You know, Adam Schiff literally used his position on House Intelligence, read a cooked up dossier into a congressional record, and honestly helped with the illegal spying and violation of American citizens' civil liberties. And yet people are still trying to defend this guy. It's crazy to me. Either which way, though, this is not a violation of constitutional rights. Okay, what Pelosi did with fines in the past, that was a violation because it made the members personally liable. This is totally separate. This would send him to an investigation into House ethics, which should happen. We should do our jobs. House ethics should do their jobs. And it would ultimately hold him accountable for everything that he did and then censure him. So I have faith that my colleagues will do the right thing, and we'll be updating you as the day continues.
A few moments later.
On this vote, the ayes are 225, the nays are 196. There are 7 answering present. The motion is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Wonk, 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 wonk. Nobody should be surprised what the result of that was, because the GOP has shown us at every opportunity that they are weak, okay? They are weak F, okay? Because when it comes time to give the Democrats a taste of their own medicine, they failed to do so for whatever reason. Who knows, okay? But yeah, the GOP tried to censure and fine Adam Schiff $16 million for his Russia collusion hoax lies.
Trump spends 4 years trying to prove this deep state conspiracy theory. The whole thing, of course, was a big bust.
I would characterize it this way at the outset of the investigation. There is circumstantial evidence of collusion. There is direct evidence, I think, of deception.
All you have right now is a circumstantial case.
Actually, no, Chuck. I can tell you that the case is more than that, and I can't go into the particulars, but there is more than circumstantial evidence now. So, again, I think...
So you have seen direct evidence of collusion?
I don't want to go into specifics, but I will say that there is evidence that is not circumstantial and is very much worthy of investigation.
There's been a report from CNN that Wednesday night that the FBI was looking into collusion with the Russians in the Trump campaign in terms of spreading information about Hillary Clinton's campaign. Do you have any information to back that up?
I can't say that I think that the investigation that the director talked about at our Monday hearing is justified. I think there is a sufficient basis for that investigation, not only to have been initiated, but for it to continue at this point. The most significant thing to me is that Christopher Steele may have found out, even before our own intelligence agencies, that the Russians were in fact aiming to help Donald Trump in the election. I think you see the most palpable evidence of a collusion in terms of violating the Logan Act.
Have Democrats found any evidence of collusion?
Yes, we have. But we do know this. The Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help. The Russians gave help, and the president made full use of that help. And that is pretty damning, whether it is proof beyond a reasonable doubt of conspiracy or not.
Can you agree?
Okay, I mean, this guy peddled the Steele dossier, which was basically the dossier that alleged that Trump had PP tapes of him getting pissed on by Russian prostitutes. He was buddies with Putin. He pushed all types of lies on mainstream liberal media. They ate it up and they peddled it as well, too. And he wasted $32 million of taxpayer money. So one GOP representative who's a freshman, Anna Paulina Luna, actually had the cojones, right? She had the cojones to actually tried to punish Democrats for spreading lies and wasting taxpayer money. And I wanted to show you guys her argument for why she decided to bring this resolution to the House floor to punish Adam Schiff. But before I get in there, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch. For example, like my blacked out version of my signature racist mug, which is a reminder of the 2023 definition of racist, according to the left, which is anybody who
compromised position that the president is in. John Kirby was speechless. Watch this.
What do you say to the majority of Americans who believe that the president is himself corrupt? Wow.
Can I take that question?
The president has spoken to this. The president has spoken to this, and there's nothing to these claims.
Congresswoman, your reaction?
Nothing to these claims is an absolute farce. We have literal bank documentation from subpoenaed bank records that show that this administration, that this family, that this president is compromised. To go back to what you were saying about how complicit and how hard it's been to get this message out there, you know, I will credit this show and Fox for really doing right by the American people to provide a different perspective and show the truth on what's really happening in Washington. But, you know, social media was really a problem. And up until recently with Twitter, we really were fighting with one hand behind our back. And I will speak to Adam Schiff. Maria, I have a privilege resolution that I'm bringing to the floor, and we are going to fine that man $16 million for using his position to lie to the American people and ultimately push something that not only destroyed our country, ripped us apart, but also too is responsible for almost, I believe, maybe even potentially permanently damaging foreign relations. He's a criminal. What he did was wrong. And Adam Schiff, you will be held accountable.
Wow. Well, look, we watched it and lived it all while he was going out there as the chairman of the Intelligence Committee telling us.
So that same FBI that said that Russia collusion is the same people that's down here in Florida that's going to lock him up for secret documents that he held at the Mar-a-Lago in Miami. I just want to point that out.
That there was collusion in plain sight. He had to know better. He was the chairman of the committee.
Absolutely. He said that he saw the, and I quote, smoking gun, and yet he was privileged to information that not even I or many of my colleagues would be able to see. He used that position. He he absolutely aided and abetted a corrupt FBI into investigating a sitting president. And I would even say, Maria, you know, some people would say that in doing what he did, not only did he bring dishonor to the House of Representatives, but he really destroyed, I think, the sense of camaraderie that we had in this country in pushing an egregious lie that cost the American taxpayers over $32 million.
It did rip the country apart. That's true.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys, right? I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with you guys. Me encantan las latinas de extrema derecha porque ellas tienen más cojones que el Partido Republicano, because it took big cojones to bring this resolution to the floor. And shout out to her for at least attempting to give the Democrats a taste of their own medicine by actually punishing Adam Schiff for the lies that he spewed in Congress, okay? Because, again, Democrats don't go soft on Republicans, and I don't expect Republicans to go soft on Democrats. However, in a situation like this, where Republicans actually had a chance to go hard on Democrats and to punish them, they failed, unfortunately. Because like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this resolution to censure and to fine Adam Schiff $16 million failed because 20 Republicans, these guys right here, okay, decided to vote against it. So take a good look here, right? If your representative is up here in this picture, this person literally voted to allow Adam Schiff to get away with these guys right here, okay, decided to vote against it. So take a good look here, right? If your representative is up here in this picture, this person literally voted to allow Adam Schiff to get away with peddling lies about President Trump, okay? And again, they use that in an effort to try to overthrow our republic with these lies. Now, again, meanwhile, Democrats are currently trying to lock up their political opponents. Again, this is the difference between GOP and the Democrats. This is why Democrats win and GOP loses, because Democrats are strong, right? There's nothing that's off the table for Democrats that they won't do, okay? But for the GOP, oh, we don't want to go too far. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. And it's like, bruh, no cojones, right? Ellos no tienen cojones, okay? At all. So let's read about what happened here, because this is, again, shameful. It really is. The House on Wednesday voted down a resolution to censure Representative Adam Schiff, a Democrat of California. The push to reprimand the former House Intelligence Committee chair came as former President Trump was arrested on Tuesday over his handling of classified documents. The resolution cited Schiff's allegations of collusion between Trump and Russia during the 2016 election and his promotion of the Steele dossier. It proposed fining Schiff $16 million, half of the cost of former special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Trump. Democrats introduced a motion to table the resolution, which passed 225 to 196, effectively killing the effort. 20 House Republicans voted with all Democrats present to defeat the resolution. 5 Democrats, all on the House Ethics Committee, voted present, as did Representative George Santos and Darrell Issa, representative of California. The resolution was introduced on Tuesday by Anna Paulina Luna, a right-wing Trump ally and occasional GOP leadership antagonist. Yeah, aka she's not pro-establishment, right? She's pro-Trump and she's against the establishment, which is, again, what we need more of. So Adam Schiff has been trying to fundraise off this. Okay, you have one person that's kind of a surprise here, Thomas Massie, who voted against this. He says he has constitutional concerns about this. However, Nancy Pelosi tried to do something very similar to him. So let's read about it. Massie compared the $16 million fine to efforts by former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi during the last Congress to enforce the chamber's mask mandate. Quote, I'm still litigating a federal lawsuit against Pelosi over a salary reduction she imposed on me for my refusal to wear a mask. He tweeted, Luna shot back by noting that the fine would have to be levied by the ethics committee and could be paid for with campaign funds, differentiating it from Pelosi's fines. And again, guys, this is why the GOP is weak, okay? Because this guy, Thomas Massie, who I kind of liked before, okay, but he's been dropping the ball lately here. He basically voted against this because, you know, he's currently suing Pelosi for reducing his salary for refusing to wear a mask. Again, Pelosi used her power to financially punish a Republican. That Republican has the same opportunity to do it right back to a Democrat, and he refuses, right? He's taking the high road as if that's actually going to win him any points, okay? And
I'm not finna let him keep ranting on like that, which he's making all true facts, y'all. All true facts. I am going to definitely pick this up tomorrow on another good show. I'm hungry as hell. I love y'all to death. Y'all know how we do it. Bring them receipts. Y'all have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, whenever time you're watching this show. I love y'all so much. Peace.